Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. Come, let us start the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, with this mantra: Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabhi bhiriditam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he has commented as a unique comment. One may attain the knowledge by either path: path of knowledge, path of devotion. Bhakta sees that nothing exists but God. Bhakta also attains the knowledge of oneness, of Brahman. This is really unique. So that's why it is a Panchama Veda. It is the fifth Veda. It is a unique knowledge. So why it is? Because mostly we think only through the path of knowledge, by neti, process of neti, not this, one can attain to the knowledge of Brahman, of oneness. And when we follow the path of devotion, it is obviously, it is two, the duality. The God and me, we are separate. But it is not, it is one. The same knowledge of oneness is possible. So we are reading from the page number 700 of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It is a translation by Swami Nikhilananda ji. So he is writing, Bhakta does not explain away the state of waking, dream and deep sleep. Now, in the process of analysis, in the path of knowledge, this is the very, very valid and the only path where constantly you will hear that they will be telling, and the Jagrat, Shapna, Shushupti, and beyond the Shushupti there is the fourth stage, that is that's called the Chaturtham, Turiya stage. So these are the way they. So Jagrat, then we have body and mind and consciousness. Swapna, mind is there, consciousness is there, but the body is absent. And then finally, and the deep sleep, there is nothing, neither the body, not the mind, only the consciousness. So that consciousness, when we come back from that consciousness, it says, that means there was consciousness every time, all they will say like that. So first and the second they negate. Third, they take to prove the consciousness, the path of knowledge, Jnana Yogis. And they will urge you to go to the fourth stage where only it is knowledge and nothing remains. But the devotion, path of devotion, they include all those, no exclusion. They include all those paths also. Why I am all the time with God? When I am just awake, I see nothing but God. So that is the difference. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, Bhakta does not explain away the state of waking, dream and deep sleep. He accepts all the state. Further, he accepts the three gunas, Sattva, Raja and Tama. So from the path of the knowledge, the path of devotion is different because they are excluding and here it is including. So this is the difference and very unique way of inclusion. This is not, this is not, this is not, they constantly they say, you say this is also the same God. How they will utilize the Sattva, Raja and Tama, we will come to know in here itself. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna will explain how they are utilizing the Sattva, Raja and Tama. A Bhakta sees that God alone has become the 24 cosmic principles. That is the way they explain how from the ultimate, slowly it came down as a 24 cosmic principles. What are those? In Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, 6th verse, it says, in the Gita and in other places also they have explained, Mahabhuta. What are the Mahabhuta? Shiti, Av, Tej, Marut, Bhoma. But they are in a subtle form, not in the gross form. This is a very subtle form. And then Ahamkara. Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahamkara. The Mahabhuta 5. Ahamkara means the 4. Man, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahamkar. Indriyani Dashaikancha. What are the Indriyas? The Karmendriya and the Jnanendriya. The sense organs of action and knowledge. The sense organs 5 knowledge and 5 action. So 10. This is 10 and Mahabhuta 5, 15. Pancha Indriya Gochara, the objects of the Indriya, that is also 5. Pancha means 5. Indriya Gochara, Rupa, Rasa, Shabda, Sparsha, Gandha. It is the same way it says, Rupa, the form, Rasa, the taste. So that way, all the 5. So what happened? 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus Ahamkara, etc. Mona, Buddha, Chitta, Ahamkara, 4. So 20 plus 4, 24. This 24 cosmic principle. So this way they say, always explain 24 cosmic. The Shankar Yoga will be always explaining like that. It has come in this way. First the subtle and slowly it took the gross form. So from the subtle it grows. That how sometimes they will be giving the example. See, first we think that we like to purchase a car. Thought of a car is a subtle. We have not purchased the car, it is not physically there, but we go on searching for the car, which will be the best, what is my budget, and all those things. Then it is all in the subtle form. Car is there present, but in a subtle form. A time will come then when it will be in the gross form. So that is the way 24 principles. The universe and all living beings, everything is nothing but the one who has become everything. He also sees that God reveals himself to the devotees in a tangible form, which is the embodiment of spirit. What he is doing? He is thinking. Now, in the previous day, the other day we were discussing the way of knowledge, the path of knowledge, how they discriminate and then go to that ultimate, and that ultimate is the Brahman, which is all pervading consciousness. And the second path is the bhakti. Karma and jnana is associated with both. So there are main 2 paths. One is bhakti, another is the jnana. Now karma means the action. There also you are discriminating, you are judging, you are analyzing karma. And here you are also accepting, you are also analyzing, you are also thinking. So that is also karma. And you are withdrawing the mind and pointing to God or to the Brahman, the yoga. So that is the whole path, 4 paths together, but in broad it is 2. The path of knowledge, path of devotion. Path of knowledge we have already discussed previously. Now Sri Ramakrishna is discussing the path of devotion. Why? The majority of the people, they can accept it. Otherwise it is really very difficult. So when you study the Bhagavata, why the Bhagavata was composed? Because of this. When the Sri Krishna, he was leaving his mortal body and going back to the eternal abode. So obviously the rishis and the yogis, they started asking questions where the dharma will rest, how the general people, ordinary people will understand the dharma. Then it is Narada who inspired the Veda Vyasa, asked Veda Vyasa to compose Bhagavata. So there were 17 Puranas. The Bhagavata became the 18th Purana, and this Bhagavata, there he explained that the Brahman, the supreme Brahman, which is all pervading without any form, has come down and has taken a form. The Nirguna Brahma has become Swaguna Brahma, and with all qualities. So then it became very easy for the ordinary minds, ordinary people who is busy to earn some money and to maintain his family. So then he can, oh, God is there. He will have a small shrine in his own little house, and before leaving for work, he will go and pray. After returning back, they will go and remember the God, pray to God. By that way, he is always connected with the God. And by that way, dharma, the righteousness, will be maintained. So that is the reason our Veda Vyasa, he composed the Bhagavata. So bhakti came from there, the devotion came from there. But the devotion to whom? God. Who is God? Only one. Then why so many? Particularly in Hinduism, there are so many gods and goddesses. But in other religions, Semitic religion, they don't show the God in that way. Their God, you don't know who is the God. But they say you have to go through the messenger or through the Son of God. But the God is unseen. You cannot go to God. No one can see God. It is not possible for you to know about God. Forget about the comprehending. This is the difference. But in the Hindu Dharma, they say, no, you can see God. Why not? If God is all powerful, all merciful, can't he take the form? Because he is all powerful. He can do anything he likes. So obviously God took this form, and then he is coming down, living with us, behaving just like us, and so that we can believe, we can have faith, we can go to him, talk to him, mix with him, and we can listen to him, we can understand him. Otherwise we are afraid. So when someone is coming down with the commandments, these are the things you must follow. Who was that person who has commanded? Why to you? Why not to me? What is the difference? So these are all questions, doubt comes. When the God comes among us, so that is the way for the ordinary people. Then ultimately we come to know, oh, it is only the one. And we are seeing many. That's the mistake. So that is called the Vedanta. Vedanta teaches you the knowledge of oneness. And to reach to oneness, you have to pass through so many. And when you are going and judging the many, you find all those many are also not only appearance. In reality, they are all the same thing, same quality. The 24 cosmic principles, which are everything, the millions of varieties of the world that the Hindus, they have shortlisted only 24, the subtle and the gross, 24 only. Even that 24 is nothing but the same one. And to reach to that oneness, there are two paths. One's the path of knowledge and the path of bhakti. Path of knowledge, it is the path of negation, not this, not this. And path of bhakti, inclusion, these. This is the difference. Now it comes over here, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, as because he is talking with the devotees who has so many other responsibilities in the society, in the family. So obviously he is giving them this path, suggesting this path. If you are a monk, if you can shake off all the responsibilities, you have only one pointedness, that the God, then it is okay. You can negate, no, not this, not this. This is possible for a monk, a monastic. But it is not possible for a householder. Then what they will do? And if you say, no, for householder only this much, then naturally they will think, oh, then what will happen? But Sri Ramakrishna is coming and telling, all this time the people were telling the same thing, and that's why the society were becoming so weak. They were thinking, what will happen to us? We are the sinners, we are committing this mistake, we are committing that mistake. It is nothing like that. We do the mistake and they call it sin. It is not sin. It is only the mistake. Understand that what you do, when you are doing it only for your selfish motive, that is the mistake, great mistake. Why? That you are differentiating the God and you. Just change that, understand that, and rectify that. That's all. Sri Ramakrishna is suggesting that, and he is telling, but a Bhakta also attains the knowledge of oneness. He sees that nothing exists but God. He does not regard the world as a dream, but says that it is God Himself, who has become everything. In a wax garden, you may see various objects, but everything is made of wax. He is giving the example. We see this universe. There are so many varieties are there, but all are made of God. If we can understand that, realize that, there's so much of joy. God in the form of birds, God in the form of trees, God in the form of everything. There's a beautiful drama constantly going on all around us. Sometimes the God is playing, behaving as a very crooked person, and sometimes it's a very nice person. All are gods, good and bad. So that is the everything. So you are completely detached and you are enjoying the play of God. When you go to the movie, we see two types of characters, good and bad. Villain and also the good character, the hero. So obviously we support the hero because we like the good, but the one who is acting, but in his personal life he may not be like that, a villain, he is just acting. When you go and see, and afterwards if we in person meet those two, the hero and the villain, what you are going to do? Are you going to hit the villain? Hey villain, where you have come? That means you don't have that analytical capacity. We know that this is only the play. In next movie, maybe they will change the character. They will be so just like that. Hate the sin, not the sinner, as they say. So we should not do all those things which are really bad, harming others, creating problem for others. Those are the things that we should not do. That's called morality. And understanding the morality, that this is the basis of spirituality. What is the spirituality? Understanding the oneness. And it may be called as God, it may be called as Brahman. The path of knowledge, their goal is Brahman. The path of bhakti, the goal is God, but both are one. In the Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, 30th verse I will read. Here also Bhagavan Sri Krishna very clearly mentioning, Yo Mam Pashyati Sarvatra. Here Mam means the God, all pervading God, all merciful God, all powerful God. It is not the Krishna in that particular form. It is the God. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. He who sees me in all things. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra. In the sarvatra means the pure and impure in both. That is the goal of a devotee. And oh, this is pure and this is impure, impure you should not take. That is good in the beginning. Then ultimately you understand there is no purity or impurity. It is only my thought. That is the ultimate point where the devotion should take. And if we can't reach over there and constantly, right from the 6 years to 60 years, I am going on thinking, oh, this is pure and this is not, that means there is no development in my spiritual journey. And what is the God realization? The people always think something peculiar, something miraculous, something happening which I can't explain. It's nothing like that. It is an experience of oneness, and how it will express in your character, in your behavior, through love. The when you can love each and every one, and those, the students of Swami Vivekananda, you know, then one time he is writing to his brother disciple, I don't know whether I have realized God or not, but I can even stay with the devil if there is any devil. That means that my mind has become so broad and I can accommodate a personality like that, who is so selfish. I can accommodate. So that is called the spiritual growth. This is called the realization. The God realization doesn't mean there's some miraculous power. Not like that. So this, when you understand, and how the God realization will be expressed through me, through love only. And then I personally will become completely unselfish. There will be no iota of selfishness in me. I won't think about like that. Oh, if I keep touch with that man, he's an influential person, he's a rich man, so I will get this benefit, that benefit. No such calculation, nothing. For the work we go, we approach to the rich people for donation and and help the other people. That's all. Nothing like that. So this no selfishness. So how we will understand that we are developing in spiritual life? Love and unselfishness. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, because you see everything everywhere. Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna also says, you see everything. He who sees me in all things and sees all things in me, he never becomes separated from me, the God. He never becomes separated. That is the ultimate goal. I like to be one with God. I like to be one with the Brahman. I don't want the separation. The moment it is separate, it is two, it is the duality. There is pain. Separation means pain and the misery. I don't want that. And how it is possible when I can see everything in the same line? So it says that, not do I become separated from him. So in the next, again he is promising, Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasya ham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. And in the next verse, it is the 30th and the 6th chapter 31st verse also, the same way he is repeating, because this is the truth. This is the ultimate teaching. So he is repeating, and another few verses also. He who being established in unity. after establishing in the unity, what is this unity? And always we say the ideal, the motto, the mission of India is unity in diversity. It is not the mixture of all the culture. All culture should be separate. They will keep intact their own originality, speciality, peculiarity. But they should live together. That is the speciality of Indian culture. It is oneness, but oneness with many. Not that it is a mixture. You have to take this thing and that from the all good from here and there and mix a separate new something. No, not like that. Whatever you like, your taste, your food, your culture, your language, your religion, no problem for me. Only one thing that we should have developed respect for each other. When you talk about your God, I say, yes, that is possible, why not? When I talk about my God, my conception, my realization, you should also accept that much, and nothing else. Only to teach this truth, I am trying my hard and praying to God day and night to develop a home of harmony. Of course, it depends on the God's will. If the religious teachers, because this is a very advanced age in the science, understanding, in knowledge, the 21st century, 22nd century is unthinkable. People are now, they are going to, maybe for a long time, period of time, they are going to live in moon, in Mars they are going. This is that age. And we are still fighting over here. Oh, this is my God and that is your God, and come, we will fight. What a foolishness. Shall religion lead humanity or not? If, then the religious leaders should understand that they have to come on one dais and understand each other. They need not to give up their own religion or faith. The only thing they have to develop in their mind that there are so many paths to the same goal. I call that goal as Jehovah, he calls as God, and she is calling as Allah, or maybe that he is calling as Bhagavan, Ishvara, is all the same. Paths are different, but the goal ultimately is the same, and that is oneness. And this oneness in everything, isn't so beautiful? That this is the strength, religion is the strength. Religion is the basis of our peace and our progress. So we must understand, when you are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it's not a sect, it's not a separate book. There are few people who only will read and nobody else. And then Bible is a different sect should read. And the Quran and these, Tripitaka, like that. No. All they are speaking about the one God. Only remove your own ego, that's all. Oh, I am a religious man, I have understood everything, this is the only way God is. Please remove that ego. This is the utter foolishness. Utter foolishness. For the knowledge that is infinite, and you are thinking you have understood that knowledge? Are you not ashamed of it? So this, if we understand, that Sri Ramakrishna is telling everything is made of the same. But a man realizes this only when his devotion to God has matured. I repeat this line. The oneness. A man realizes this means the oneness, when his devotion to God has matured. Now it says, by constantly meditating on God, the Bhakta loses his ego. Friends, this is the word again and again coming. That when we give up our ego, we can understand everything. I like this, there's no problem. I like to eat pizza, okay. And he likes to eat idli, there's no problem. So this is the way, if we can understand, I see that he is enjoying the idli and I am enjoying the other food, pizza or whatever. We are all getting satisfied after eating. Oh, I am full, I am satisfied. Both are getting that. Then why should we fight? Hey fool, you are eating idli, take pizza only. If you are not eating the pizza, I will go and fight with you. Is it not foolishness? The same way, you must accept my God, otherwise I am going to beat you. The same foolishness. So this is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. In this present age, the Lord God, that Brahman, all pervading, he has come and taken the form of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he is giving this idea of unity in diversity. So that is Brahma Rupa Adi Madhya Shesha Sarva Bhasakam. About him it is said, everything is nothing but that Brahman. The Sri Ramakrishna, he is the Brahma, he is also the power of that Brahma. And at the same time, he has manifested like this universe, the world, and in so many varieties. But he is the one, and he is teaching the oneness. We must have to accept this oneness, restraining, keeping, and nurturing our own faith. We can become one. How? By removing the ego. How? Only to understand God has created everything. Who am I to oppose that? If God has created me, God has created him, her, all beings. Who am I to oppose that? Hey God, you should create me and my friends, my family and nobody else. Can I dictate God like that? Isn't that blasphemy? But we are doing that because of our ego. And the more we are showing like that, we are separating ourselves from God. We must understand that. This is called knowledge, knowledge of oneness. And this oneness can be reached through different paths, different religion. Here, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling the traditional path, mostly the Hindus, they take the path of knowledge, path of devotion. Even these two, the followers of devotion, followers of knowledge, they will be fighting. Why? I am better than you. I am intelligent than you. I have understood better than you. This is the problem. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling, constantly meditating on God. Who is God? Is it only this form? In the form of these, in the form of these, in the form of these? That much? The God? The God is only as a Krishna? The God is only as a Rama? God is only as a Jesus? God only as a Buddha? That much? So that means he is a limited. I am limiting my God. That is also foolishness. God is unlimited. And he has manifested in so many different forms. All these forms that we see, he is. And to teach us again, he has come as a teacher in different time, in different places, in different situations, in different forms and names. And that, all those great personalities. So we should not say this is the only. So that is the way we have to meditate on God. God is all pervading. God is all merciful. God is all powerful. He can do anything he likes. And he has given me this understanding that I am a Hindu and I should follow the path of bhakti or knowledge, and I will reach to God, and that God, after reaching over there, I can see in everything, okay, this is for me, that is sufficient for me. And the same God is giving the idea to someone else in a different fashion, different way. Let him go, let him do. It is his path. This is so democratic. This is so wonderful. And that will bring the peace in the human society. Because not a single human is there without religion. Either these or that, and this way or that way, they are all influenced by the religion, practicing religion. But it is only the religion that is teaching love and unselfishness. All religions. So we have to understand that, where from that love came, because it came from the source, and that is God. The God is nothing but love. If we meditate on God constantly, that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, by constantly meditating on God, the Bhakta, the devotee, the aspirant, the student loses his ego. I am separate and I, that goes away. And he realizes that God is he and he is God. See the unique? The God is he and he is God. Tame baham iti me nischita mati. Ultimately the great devotee, the Mahavir, Hanumanji, when he was telling to Rama, ultimately I find that you is me and I am you. So that is called, even a devotee, even a bhakta, even a path of devotion can lead us to the oneness. And as long as God retains the ego in man. Now, Sri Ramakrishna is giving the practical suggestions. What is that? As long as God retains the ego in man, I am not holding the ego, God has given to me. So you have to pray to God only to remove that ego. Oh God, please remove my ego. The God has given the ego and he is retaining that. He should establish a definite relationship with God. He should, he must. Definite relationship should be developed. What is the relationship? Calling on him as master, mother, friend, or the like. In the Bhakti Sutra there are 5. So the 5 way, because our emotion, it goes in that way. The motherly affection to the child. The God is my child. And the child can't do anything. I have to take care of the child. Child is moving here, running over there. He may be in difficulty. I have to go and help the child. Look at it. God who has created this universe and the devotee who is considering as the mother of God. Mother of God. And naturally, as a mother, her affection going to protect the God. It's unique, wonderful. Not that the God is the punisher. God is sitting over there and constantly with a frowning eyes is looking at you. The moment you do some mistake, then immediately will flog you. Not like that. Who said that? Sometime by mistake we say we are afraid of God. Sometimes in English the expression, the devotee of God, he is really afraid of God. No, not like that. God-fearing person, why should we be? God-fearing person. We are not afraid of God because God is our baby, our child. We are the parents of God, the father, the mother. We love that baby. We are not expecting anything from God. Can a parent expect anything from the baby? Only the smile of the baby. Baby is healthy, baby is happy, baby is playing, and parents are so happy. Can you imagine if you are developing a relationship with God in that fashion? You are not expecting anything from God. But a parent, they constantly long to see the face of the baby. In the cradle, the baby is sleeping, and the father coming back from the office will go and see the face of the baby, will touch the nose, will touch the cheek, and that way expressing his affection, not expecting anything from the baby. That is the love for God. Isn't it unique? And that has been developed by the Hinduism. He says you have that emotion, a fatherly love, a motherly attachment, affection for your children. Utilize that for God. Sometimes some parents, when they come, they say, we don't have child and we are very sorry, we like to do this. So I told, why don't you take the God as your child? Of course, it is very, very difficult. But if moment you think in that way, the whole world will change. Is all that you are thinking. World is nothing but your thought. So if you are thinking the God is my child, and the same way a small little girl, and she was observing a procession, and people are dancing, and there so much of light and music. Then she was asking the father what they are doing. So they are going to marry. That man sitting on the horseback is going to marry. And I also like to marry. The child, the little girl, and she thought something she is missing, and started nagging the father. No, I will also marry. I will also. Father told, okay, come, I will show you. Now, they were the worshipper of Lord Krishna. Then he took that little girl to the Krishna and told, this is your husband. Go and play with your husband and sing bhajan before him and cook food for him. That little girl started playing with the God. How? You are my husband, I am your wife. She had no idea what is this husband and wife relation. And she was so happy. Grew up, couldn't forget that because of the constant meditation on God as her husband, the God really appeared before her. The Krishna appeared before her as her husband. And her mind was full with joy. Is the Meera Bai, the famous Meera Bai. There must be some books are there, if you like, you can read the biography of Meera Bai, the unique way of the expression. And Meera's understanding was so clear. Sometimes the path of devotion, particularly those who are worshipping and claiming that they are Vaishnava, it became so difficult to talk to them and mix with them. They become, no, I should not eat this, I should not sit over there, I should not touch that, I should not smell that. There are so many. But the Meera is so broad-minded. Why? Because the ego was already gone. How? By meditating on God. On what aspect of God? Husband. I am the wife and God is my husband. Can you imagine? And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling that you can think about the God is my master. He is asking me to do this, do that. I will do that. I don't have to think anything. The master knows what is good. He is asking me to perform and I'm performing. And second, it says, as the mother and the friend. So these are all the different relationships. I spent 1 year as a handmaid, the handmaid of the Divine Mother. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is a unique personality and the only personality in the whole history of the spirituality. If the spirituality, right from 10,000 years before, when the people started thinking about God, if that is the beginning, 10,000 years and continuously different places, different type of thoughts, if you accumulate, you will find everything manifested in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Though he lived only up to 50 years, within the 50 years, everything, the paths of devotion, all paths, and the paths of the Tantra, all the 64 paths. And he was so attentive and so concentrated. The moment he used to think that I should do this and used to finish that, it takes long time for us. So we may doubt how it is possible. And we are struggling so many years and we have not realized God yet in that way. How could he realize the God as Brahman, as Kali, as Krishna, as the Jesus Christ, and so many varieties way? How it is possible? Some people, they doubt. Why not? A very intelligent person, even a 8 years little girl, now she is now sitting for the exam for the class 12. And class 12 means you can imagine the age. But she is capable. She can understand. So it is possible in this life, so why not in the spiritual life? In the spiritual life also, Sri Ramakrishna was so attentive, so one-pointed, that he could immediately realize that truth, which is meant by this process. And what is religion? Some of the practices. If you are practicing this, then you will reach to this goal. And if one is doing that sincerely, surely he will realize that goal, understand that path. Why not? So this Sri Ramakrishna, he practiced everything. One must worship, then he is telling, Adya Shakti. Now he was talking about the devotion, now he comes to Adya Shakti, that is Tantra. Adi means the beginning, the primal. Shakti is the power. Adi Shakti. Anything that is happening is the manifestation of the power. Without the power, nothing can happen. So obviously, the Tantra, the Tantric, another branch of the religious group of the Hindus. So another branch, they have developed this. You are talking about God, but God is only knowledge. So what about the power of God that is doing everything? So they developed the Tantra. He is telling Adi Shakti. She must be propitiated. She alone has assumed all female forms. Friends, you know, in our tradition, Ramakrishna tradition, we always consider Ma Sharadamani Devi. I am showing like this because there is a picture. You cannot see that. But no, that is the Ma Sharadamani Devi, she we always consider as the primal power. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna worshipped her. And one day when the mother was asking Sri Ramakrishna, how you think about me? Immediately he said, as the mother who has given me birth, as the mother whom I worship at Goddess Kali in the temple, you are that same mother. To the wife, he said. So this is the understanding. A lady doesn't mean a girl doesn't mean a completely different. Majority of the people whose mind is only in the body, they always consider is a male and female. They always think that is the source of enjoyment. But in the spiritual life, that is completely different. So Adya Shakti, the primal energy, and that was manifested through the Ma Sharadamani Devi. And this mother, she is holding the key of all success. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna again and again said, if you want to get something, you want to have something, go to Mother and pray to her. You have seen if you have seen the Dakshina Kali, Dakshina Murti, the famous image of the Kali temple in Dakshineshwar, you will find that the right hand, both the right hands, she is having 4 hands, Ma Kali, right side, both the hands, and very benign and very compassionate. One hand is showing like this, that means, I bless you. You need not to be afraid of. What do you want? I am your mother. And if the children are asking for anything, the boon, the second hand, the right side, the lower hand is showing that here, take it. I want success, I want wealth, I want health, I want this, I want that, come to right side. And the same mother is also giving, if you turn to the left, but completely different. The right side is giving the blessings and also the boon. And the left side, if you go, holding a sword and a shivered head, the human head. The head she has not killed, it is all symbolic. The head is the symbol of knowledge, and the sword is that power by which you cut asunder the ignorance. What is the ignorance? I am separate than God. That is the ignorance. The moment you cut that, you get the liberation. So left hand side is for the liberation and right hand side for the enjoyment of the world. So both you can get from the mother. So that is why the Dakshina Kali and Bama Kali, Bama means left. When you go for the liberation, your mukti, I don't want to get the joy of this world, then you have to come to the left side. This is the beautiful way that we get the Kali. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna worshipped that Kali, and he wanted to rise that knowledge so the people can understand it. And here it says Adya Shakti. Adya Shakti is the primal energy. This attitude of regarding God as mother is the last word in sadhana. What is the last word? This Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, I have underlined it. This is the last word in sadhana. Sadhana means the spiritual practices. Sometimes we are fasting, sometimes we are visiting holy places, sometimes we are listening to the discourses, reading holy books, meditating, praying. So many things we do only to get the blessings of God. And the ultimate thing, if you can develop this attitude, that God is my mother, then everything is over. What is the baby is doing? This is Sri Ramakrishna adding. There are 5 traditional ways. Then here Sri Ramakrishna is adding Shantana Bhav. The Shantana means the children, the child. And what the child is doing, only having the faith that the father and mother is there, that much. And sometimes the child will quarrel with the parents. He will say, no, you are not loving me properly, you are not caring me this way, you have not given me, you have not. How dare? If the parents they say go out, then what will happen to him? But he never thinks in that way. When you are talking with the mother, we go on fighting with the mother, never thinking if the mother just turn the face and say, from today don't talk to me, you are nobody to me, what will happen to me? But the child is not thinking in that way at all. Why? Mother. And that faith. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna Dev said, Bishwash holo to sob hoye gelo, in Bengali. If you develop faith in that way, then everything is achieved. What is that faith? Lord is my mother. Lord is my father. Why should I be afraid of the father and the mother? And all the time, why should I have to go and beg? Oh mother, you are so beautiful, you are looking good, oh please give me $1. Can any child will do like that? Never. They will go, mother, I am going out with my friends, I need $10, give me right now. Like that they will say. So that faith if we are having, that God is taking care, and what the parents they do, they take care of the child. Friends, approach is the mother to child. I am the mother, I am the father, I am taking care of God. That is one. And the Sri Ramakrishna is introducing, I am the child, God is my mother, God is my father. The mother will take care of me. When the children are going out, mother will see, hey, you have not put on the socks and you have to put the shoe, that is a muddy road, you should not go like this. And then she will bring the dress and put that properly, but the child is eager to go to play and he will go like that. But sometimes he will turn back and see the mother is waiting for him. The mother is at the back. Then the child is fearless. The mother is there. She will take care of me. And that is the end of all sadhana. The why should we be afraid? That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling. In the devotion there is the sattva, raja and tama. And the tama, he will go and fight with the mother. Sometimes I tell devotees, why you should not ask all these things to mother? So she has put me in the world, and I see that my children are suffering. To whom then I will go? I will go to the mother, the divine mother. That you have given me this and I am looking after, now I am suffering, please help me. And you can of course demand. So that is the teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Friends, we will conclude over here today. This is a beautiful idea. Now, God can be approached through any path. And God is one and all pervading. He can be approached through the path of knowledge, where they say, not this, not this, not this. Neti, neti, neti. That is the path of knowledge. I am not the body, I am not the mind. Shivoham, Shivoham, that is their path. And the others will say, oh, God has given me this mind, God has given this body, God has given this my friend, and these beautiful the relatives. God is everything. So the positive way. So one path is the bhakti, devotion, another is the jnana, knowledge. So then Sri Ramakrishna is telling that you must meditate again and again on God. And what is the object of meditation? God. And what is that God? All pervasiveness. Not the one. That is the main problem. I worship Krishna. In the beginning it is all right. But if you think Krishna is the only God, then you are making a great mistake. Because the same Krishna is telling, I am everything. I am everywhere. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. So that is the way we have to think. Breaking the narrow conception, narrow idea about God. And now that Krishna is all pervading. When you are meditating on that, you don't see the Krishna, but he is manifesting everywhere, everything. Whatever I see, whatever I perceive is nothing but my Lord. That is also oneness, inclusive everything. But you have to meditate a lot. Why? Otherwise your ego won't go. And the ego is there and he will say, no, my Lord is only this much. This is the picture I got from my maternal uncle or this, my grandfather. So this is the only God in our family. We are not going to worship anything, not accepting anything. You are entering into the narrow channel. And you will reach somewhere. But here Bhagavan says God is everywhere. Now finally he says, you must worship Adhyashakti. And concluding, and we may discuss on this, if you can think that you are the child of God, then that is the ultimate of all your spiritual practices. Thank you, friends. Is there any question?
Yes. The first question is from Devashish. He is asking how to adjust our mind when we are living or interacting with selfish people on daily basis, or we cannot avoid them. As you mentioned, there is only oneness.
Oneness is okay. See, oneness, that is called the Vyavaharika. The Vyavaharika, that is the practical way when you are. The tiger is also God. But shall I go and embrace the tiger? No. So that Vyavaharika, as long as I can feel, Buddha can go, because when the Buddha is approaching, because of that purity, even the Angulimal, the great dacoit, a killer, he was transformed. That is possible for that person. When we reach up to that, it is okay. Otherwise, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself taught, you should behave with those people according to their character. If they are a very cunning type of people, you should be very, very careful when you are talking with them, dealing with them. But inside your mind, you should always pray to God, God, they are ignorant. Please bless them. Please bring the good thoughts in their minds too. That's why you have to protect yourself and at the same time help those people whom you think they are very selfish type. That will be all right.
The next question is from Sheila. She is asking, how does one do puja for Ramakrishna Paramahamsa? And then the second part is, can one still worship other gods?
See, there are only one God, but if you feel, yeah, of course you can do the puja to other gods. See, the Ramakrishna Mission, there is a book, and the puja paddhati in English and in Bengali and Hindi, the Ramakrishna puja paddhati is available. And there, the steps by steps it has been, that they have taught how to worship Sri Ramakrishna. So, your first question, how to worship Sri Ramakrishna, you can learn by reading that book. Sri Ramakrishna Puja Paddhati, the worship of Sri Ramakrishna. The book is available. Second, whether you can worship other gods and goddesses, of course, why not? You can worship other gods and goddesses, and you have noticed in the Ramakrishna Mission also, we worship all gods and goddesses, the Durga, the Kali, the Vishnu and Narayan, all the gods and goddesses we are worshipping. Thank you.
The next question is from Akshay. He is saying, what is the difference between emotionally turning towards God and really turning towards God?
So, emotion means you are thinking, oh, my father told, my mother told to go to a temple, I should go over there. Okay, just to make my mother happy, I am going to the temple. That may be emotional. But if you understand the before birth where you were, after death where you will go, not you, people, you live long. So, after death where the people they go and how things are all happening. So, this way you will come to know that is already analyzed, and the conclusion is there is some intelligence factor is there, and that is called consciousness by the Vedanta, and that is God. So, when you understand this, then if you try to understand God, you have two options as we are reading over here, one the path of knowledge, another the path of devotion. Anything you can choose. Thank you.
The next question is from Viswaroop. He is saying, if Sri Ramakrishna as well as you caught my hand, is there any fear in spiritual life?
You say me? I don't know about me if I am holding your hand. But if Sri Ramakrishna holding your hand, there is no fear at all. No fear at all. In the spiritual life, you will be always. See, we are gurus. We give initiation. But we only offer to Sri Ramakrishna. We say, you understand, you know better. Please support and help this boy, help this man, help this person. So this is the way we always say. Of course we pray for our disciples, but we pray to Sri Ramakrishna. He is the Supreme Lord. And as I was telling, the God means full of compassion, full of love. Don't be afraid. You are not doing anything wrong. Anything that you are doing, anything, you go and tell God, I am feeling like this, to do this. So please guide me. As a compassionate Father, He will guide you. Believe it. Thank you. Friends, let us now chant this mantra and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.